thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh yeah, hey yo, welcome to the Review It Rob Show, a birthday edition of the Review It Rob Show. That's right, man, as they're recording this episode, it is my birthday, so happy birthday to me, man. Yes, had a birthday celebration. Gonna talk about all that stuff later, but welcome to the show, man. Glad everybody has joined in once again to listen to me ramble on about all the nonsense. And this, as you tell by the title, is going to be a mega review episode, man. I watched so much stuff that I want to talk about on this week's episode that I couldn't just dwindle it down to one, man. I had to talk about all of them. But yes, of course, appreciate you joining along. Go ahead and take care of some business up front. This is the show, part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. You can follow us on the Facebook, on the YouTube, man, as well as everywhere else. I believe there's an Instagram page coming. We've all got our own separate Instagram pages. List to all of our shows, the Metal Groove, Mr. Wonderful Show, Haunters Podcast, Zach Speakeasy, and of course this beautiful show that you're listening to right now, man. Speaking of the YouTube, we got a TikTok. We got a TikTok as well, and we've got a Patreon where all the fun stuff's going on over there, and with more things to come, man. Speaking of the YouTube, though, one of the things I got into, I was off last week. Like, I had the whole week off last week, and in early celebration of my birthday, a weird thing that goes on with my work. There was like a fiscal year thing, so I couldn't take like my actual birthday off. I had to take like the week off before, because like fiscal year and the year starts over, yada yada yada, whatever. But I had the last week off and just got to chill and relax and watched a bunch of stuff. Can't wait to talk about all that stuff. But I started a new thing, man. So I have a video on our YouTube, on the Thrill Me Podcast Network's YouTube, called My Mighty Morphin Collection, where I love the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, love the Power Rangers, and I am collecting stuff. I've got a new poster that I finally got framed. I got a bunch of Funko Pops and some classic toys, and I'm just gonna collect over the years. And I was like, screw it, man, let me do a video. Why not? Just a video chronicling this journey. So that is on our YouTube now. You can go check that out. And you know what? Hell is officially frozen over because your boys got a freaking TikTok now. Yeah, that's right. I got TikTok. Got 2 videos up. Being a goofball, mostly, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the TikTok. I really don't know. I just, finally decided to start one. Probably just be me walking to the movie theater, walking out of the movie theater, plugging my show, promoting my show, or something like that, and doing some random goofy stuff in between, man. But yeah, I officially have a TikTok. So again, hell has a frozen over for sure. Other than those 2 things, man, just hung out all week, hung out with my brother most of the week. We watched some shows. We watched Midnight Mass, and we started watching brand new Cherry Flavor. And we just had a good time hanging out and doing stuff, and we went to the movies together. We're going to talk about that later. So pretty good chill last week, man, and glad to be back here and ready to go with this show. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the news. The first thing I want to talk about here is the freaking box office, man. Movies are doing big business. They are doing really good right now. A lot of people are saying, movie theater's dead. It's over with. It's over. It's the land of streaming now. Which, may be kind of true. Streaming is becoming a big deal. But movie theaters are not dead. They will not go down without a fight. And they are fighting strong, baby. So over the weekend, Elvis and Top Gun battled it out for the number one spot, man, where they were actually tied for a while at $30.5 million until this morning, Monday morning, when Elvis took over by $1 million. So it ended up being like 31 million something. But those two movies, over $30 million. The Black Phone, which debuted this weekend, made over $20 million. Jurassic World Dominion brought in over $20 million. And I want to say Lightyear made over $20 million as well. Nope, I'm wrong about that. But those first four films, man, and this is a big deal because the first time since Thanksgiving of 2018 that four films all generated more than $20 million in a weekend at the box office, man. So congratulations to all those films. I have seen almost all those films. Unfortunately, have not seen Elvis yet, which was surprising because that was a movie I was highly anticipating this weekend, but didn't get around to seeing it, unfortunately. But did see some other stuff that we're going to talk about later in the episode. I plan on seeing Elvis this week, though, maybe even tomorrow night. But yeah, I had to talk about that box office. That's some big business right there. And speaking of big business, Top Gun Maverick is now officially crossed the $1 billion milestone over the weekend. It's the first film of the year. It's the first movie of the year and only the second in COVID times. The other one being Spider-Man: No Way Home with $1.9 billion that to reach this benchmark. What's even more impressive about Maverick's hit for the $1 billion mark without, if they weren't shown in China or Russia, and it still made $1 billion. Imagine how much money it would have made if the film was shown in China or Russia. But even without that, the movie still crossed over $1 billion after 31 days. Top Gun Maverick has become Tom Cruise's first movie to surpass $1 billion worldwide at the box office. His previous biggest showing was Mission Impossible Fallout, which was $791 million worldwide. So yes, that is awesome. And even more awesome, Tom Cruise took to Twitter with the following, saying, quote, "To all the films in release, to all the studios, and to all the exhibitors, congratulations. To the audience, thank you for the venturing out and allowing us to entertain you. See you at the movies." And Tom Cruise has been a big person trying to get the movie business back going. He's been doing everything he can. He fought to make sure Top Gun was only in theaters and not streaming. So congratulations, Tom Cruise. Congratulations to the amazing film Top Gun Maverick, which could be my favorite film of the year. Who knows, man? It is a hodgepodge of freaking just scrambling around trying to figure out what is going on with my top 10 films of the year, because it seems like stuff just keeps coming out. What does hodgepodge even mean? I don't even know what that means. I've heard it all my life, and I don't know what it means. Apparently, this thing says confused mixture of different things. Well, I'm confused about what my movie top 10 is. So, hey, not too confused. I got the movie ideas in there. But anyways, moving forward. Next bit of news. This is highly rumored. You've probably seen this. If not, let me go ahead and talk to you about it here. There is a big rumor going around. The first time I saw it was from the New York Post. So if it is wrong, blame the New York Post. 1D. Take care of that for us. Johnny Depp could be reprising Captain Jack Sparrow role for the Pirates of the Caribbean movie with a $301 million deal. Now, again, this is just speculation or rumor, and looking into it a little bit more before doing this show, a representative for Johnny Depp's side said that it is a false rumor. So, it is Hollywood. Any and everything can happen. For example, apparently rumors of Neve Campbell returning to the Scream film to be in Scream 6 now are coming up. And who told you that was going to happen? Oh, yeah, me. I said it was probably more than likely going to happen or be used as a ploy to get paid more money. And look where we are now. So, I would love for Johnny. I mean, let's face facts here. Speaking of money, Disney, they're all about the money. They say they're about family. They do some family stuff for sure, but they are all about the money for sure. And the easiest way for you to make big money at the box office is putting Johnny Depp back in a Pirates film. Easy money, easy access, easy to do. Now, I know Jerry Bruckheimer and Disney are working on a film with Margot Robbie. That's been going on for a number of years now. I think the last thing I talked about on the show is that Margot hasn't officially signed on to do it yet. Very easy. You can put those two in a film together. They probably would have amazing chemistry together if you want to do that. Or if you want to continue with the Captain Jack Sparrow storyline, people will go to theaters to see it. If anything has been proven over the last couple of months, people love Johnny Depp. They still love Johnny Depp. And since we've got the outcome that he did win, it's time to get this stuff back going. So there you go. Speaking of stuff back going, and I can't believe this was even something that could happen, but not too shocked that it may happen. Christian Bale said he wouldn't mind taking on the role of Batman again. The actor was talking with Screen Rant and said the following, quote, "In my mind, it would be something if Christopher Nolan ever said to himself, you know what? I've got another story to tell, and if you wish to tell that story to me, I'd be in. Speaking of Batman, if he would put on the Batsuit again, you know, Christian Bale and those Nolan films are really freaking good. They're really solid. Bale's Bat voice did annoy me. Got very tough. You can get by it in The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises it's even a little bit tougher. So maybe he changes the voice or anything like that. I mean, I guess I'd throw the question out to you, the listeners. Would you be interested in seeing Christian Bale return? I know we have the Flash film coming. Could we add another Batman to it? Keaton's already in it. Batfleck is in it. Uh, could add Christian Bale in there for a way. I mean, DC's looking for somebody to head their DC Warner Brothers Discovery's looking for somebody to head the DC EU. Could you get Nolan to jump in and do it? Probably not. Maybe you could. Nolan's had a history of Warner Brothers, but he wasn't too happy with Warner Brothers last time I checked with how Tenet was released. So who knows, man? Any and everything is possible in Hollywood, but we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I remember reading something about they were happy with just doing the trilogy, and that was their mindset to begin with. And if they were able to do the trilogy, they didn't want to do another film. They just wanted to leave it there. So we'll see, man. If Christian Bale's open to it, see if Nolan's open to it. And then again, you have the Flash movie coming up if they want to do something quick in there. Again, he said he wants to work with Nolan, though. So who knows? Maybe Nolan could shoot the scene Bale's in. I don't know. This is the beauty of DC and why I love DC so much is that they can do a lot of different things, man. You can do these movies. You can have your extended universe, but you can also do these side projects like the rumored Joker musical. A lot of people are like, how does this work? That doesn't make any sense. Dude, it makes perfect sense. DC can do whatever they want. They can make whatever kind of movies they want because they're not just relying on the extended universe because, you got the Joker movie. You have the highly successful Batman movie that came out this year, as well as other things planned. So, yes, I think if DC wanted to, they could still do a Snyderverse on HBO Max. They can do another Bale movie if they wanted to. Any and everything is possible right now. And I would definitely say consider it. But, hey, let's see, man. Pattinson did great as Batman. It's going to be cool to see Batfleck again. It's always awesome to see Michael Keaton as Batman. We're going to get him in the Flash film and the Batgirl movie. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. Let's see. Speaking of excited, one of my favorite actresses just landed a role in a superhero movie. I'm talking about the lovely Emma Roberts. She has been cast in Madam Web, the next Sony Spider-Man universe character thing they got going on. She is joining Dakota Johnson, who is the star of the film, and Sydney Sweeney, who is in an undisclosed role. Apparently Sydney Sweeney's from Euphoria. Never seen it, but people seem to love that show. Let's see, Madam Web serves as an origin story for the comic book character who is a clairvoyant with psychic abilities, and those abilities allow her to see within the spider world itself. In the comics, her abilities prove to be greatly beneficial to Spider-Man and his fellow allies, but given her condition, she's never battled villains herself. So we'll see how that movie ends up turning out. I was going to see it anyways, but now it's a little more highly anticipated with Emma Roberts joining because she is one of my favorite actresses. So it'd be cool to see what she's going to do. Don't know what her character is at the moment. Typically seen her in like horror. She does a lot of horror stuff. So it'd be cool to see what she's got here. Obviously she's done other films, I know, but it'd be cool to see what she brings here. Let's see, Stranger Things spinoff. Matt and Ross Duffer, who are behind the Stranger Things hit franchise, which returns this weekend, baby. They are talking spinoff, man, and they're saying it's going to be different than what anyone is expecting, including Netflix. So it is no doubt to anybody that Stranger Things has been big business for Netflix, probably the biggest thing Netflix has ever done. And of course, you're going to do and expect spinoffs to happen. They are working on a spinoff, but they're not working on it parallel with what's going on right now with Stranger Things. They want to take the time with it. They don't want to just push it out to push it out. That is, not what they want to do. So it's going to happen. We're going to get spin-offs of Stranger Things, and we're going to see how it goes, man. I love the show, and I'm interested to see where they take it spin-off-wise. Let's see, a little bit of sad news here. John Williams has revealed that Indiana Jones 5 will be his final movie, or could be his final movie, and maybe even Harrison Ford's final movie as well. During an interview with the Associated Press, the legendary film composer said, quote, "At the moment, I'm working on Indiana Jones 5, which Harrison Ford, who's quite a bit younger than I am, I think has announced will be his last film," said Williams. "So I thought If Harrison can do it, then perhaps I can also. Indiana Jones 5 is currently slated to release on June 30th, 2023. Interesting there, man. John Williams, absolute legend in the film world. I mean, come on. What a freaking composer. A lot of people are going to immediately go to the Star Wars films, which, I mean, obviously he did great stuff for the Star Wars films. But he also did music for Harry Potter, the amazing Hedwig's theme, you know, and Jurassic Park, as well as numerous other things, man. So John Williams, absolute legend. I remember there was this meme going around with a kid or a person holding up a sign that said, "Your music saved my life," and a lot of people were putting like an artist next to it. I remember doing that, and I put John Williams up to it because I freaking love the stuff he's done, man. So if he's hanging it up, more power to him, it seems like he's about ready to be done. He was talking about Star Wars. It's probably 6 months till he does another Star Wars. So another Star Wars comes out, so he doesn't know if he'll be up to it by the time that comes out. So yeah, it sounds like he's about ready to be done. Harrison Ford, I still can't believe he's doing Indiana Jones 5, but any and everything's possible, man. So if he's about to retire too, holy crap, man. What a legend Harrison Ford is, whether you're a Star Wars fan or not. He's done a lot throughout the world other than just Star Wars, but of course, that was his breakout. So we'll see what ends up happening there. If those two legends are hanging it up, um, as they say on Babylon, big bucket of win to both of them, man. Let's see. Deadline is reporting that Lee Wanell is in negotiations to direct The Green Hornet and Kato for Universal. The studio has wanted to get back in business with Lee Wanell since he delivered The Invisible Man, which was a critical acclaimed box office success. I mean, Lee Wanell, again, like we mentioned earlier, The Invisible Man, he had his hand in the Saw franchise. Green Hornet, if you're not familiar, used to be an early radio adventure show that predated Superman. Like the 40s, it turned into a movie for Universal, and 66, I want to say, had a TV series where Bruce Lee was introduced to the U.S. He played Kato. The classic story focuses on Britt Reed, owner publisher of the Daily Sentinel, armed with knowledge from his sources, cool weapons, a supercar known as the Black Beauty, and teamed with his trusty aide Kato. Reed became the Green Hornet, a vigilante crime fighter wanted by the police and feared by the criminal world. So, cool, man. We trust Lee Wanell, right? Invisible Man was a very solid movie. So, yeah, bring it on. Why not? Why not? What else? I feel like Lee Wanell has done something else. My mind always goes like straight to Saw and Invisible Man, but he did. I'm sure he has other things under his belt here. Let's see. Well, mostly as a writer. As a director, he directed Insidious Chapter 3, which is probably my favorite Insidious film. It's the only one I've seen. But still, he directed Upgrade and he directed The Invisible Man. And he's producing an Untitled Insidious sequel, it looks like. And of course, he was the writer for Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, Dead Silence, Insidious Chapter 2, and so on, man. Insidious, The Lost Key, Insidious Chapter 3, The Invisible Man, of course. So, yeah. Big career there for Lee Wanell. Congratulations to him, man. He's taking on the Green Hornet. I think the last time we had a Green Hornet anything was the Seth Rogen movie, I want to say. Yeah. Which I don't think was bad, but it was not very well liked. But I had my last on it, but at the same time, I like Seth Rogen. So there you go. All right. And I guess I got to talk about this. Rumor is that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre will be getting not just one, but two sequels over at Netflix. Netflix, of course, released the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, which came out this year, but feels like it came out longer ago. This rumor started heating up because Mark Burnham, who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, was on hand at a recent Monsterpalooza convention. What's interesting is that he was joined by one of the film's producers, and that said producer allegedly told fans that Netflix has ordered two more sequels set within the horror franchise. Yay. I mean, you can go back and listen to my review. I am not a fan. I know that Zach, part of the Throw Me Podcast Network, enjoyed the film. Cool. Awesome. I did not. It's gonna happen. It happens. I didn't like it all that much. I mean, some of the kills were cool. That's the only redeeming part of it. The rest of the movie is ridiculous. Uh, so yeah, but I mean, if they're doing two more sequels, and again, it wasn't very highly critically loved, which isn't the end all be all, but it's truthful. But what it did do is it got a lot of views. It got a lot of views for Netflix, so that's probably more than enough for Netflix, especially a streaming service that has been hitting a rough patch over the last couple months. They're probably looking for things that are going to bring in viewers. So, I guess I get it in a way. But is that the news, man? That is the news. All right, let's see. Moving forward to the movies releasing this week, we've got, of course, Stranger Things releasing this week, Part 2, Stranger Things. Gotta see it. Gotta love it. And they're basically movies. I mean, both of them are going to be long. Can't remember how long the first episode is going to be of part two, but the second episode of part two is like 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. So a lot of, Stranger Things part two is happening. The Duffer Brothers have hinted at a freaking body count in the film. We're not talking about the rock band. We're talking about people dying. So we're going to see where that ends up going. Hopefully your favorites don't die, but I'm just going to say, not looking too good for Steve. All right, let's see. Also releasing this week is Minions, The Rise of Gru. I feel like this movie was supposed to come out a while ago, maybe. PG. It is a comedy adventure. 1 hour, 27 minutes. This will be in theaters. In the heart of the 1970s, amid a flurry of feathered hair and flared jeans, Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, is growing up in the suburbs. Fanboy of a supervillain supergroup known as the Vicious Six, Gru hatches a plan to become evil enough to join them. Luckily, he gets some mayhem making backup from his loyal followers, the Minions. Together, Kevin, Stuart, Bob, and Otto, a new Minion sporting braces and a desperate need to please, deploy their skills as they and Gru build their first lair, experiment with their first weapons, and pull off their first missions. When the Vicious Six ousts their leader, legendary fighter Wild Knuckles, Gru interviews to become the newest member. It doesn't go well, and only gets worse after Gru outsmarts them and suddenly finds himself the mortal enemy of the apex of evil. On the run, Gru will turn to an unlikely source of guidance, Wild Knuckles himself, and discover that even bad guys need a little help from their friends. Need a little help from my friends. Oh, need. Anyways, Minions, I will not be seeing that in theaters, but I will eventually see it. I don't have a problem with the Despicable Me franchise or the Minions. They are funny to me. So I'll see it eventually, but I am not going out to theaters to see that bad boy. Let's see, we've got a movie called The Forgiven. Rated R. It is a drama, 1 hour 57 minutes. This will be in theaters as well. Speeding through the desert to attend an old friend's lavish weekend party. Wealthy launderers David and Joe Hennigan, who is played by Ralph Fiennes and Jessica Chastain, two very talented people right there. Their characters are involved in a tragic accident with a local teenage boy. Arriving late at the Grand Villa with the debauched party of raging, Jesus, the couple attempts to cover up the incident with the collusion of the local police. Lord, I can't talk. You take a week off, all of a sudden you can't talk. But when the boy's father arrives seeking justice, the stage is set for a tension-filled culture clash in which David and Joe must come to terms with their fateful acts and its shattering consequences. Ooh. Let's see, and the other thing I got here is The Princess. This is rated R, action drama, and it will be on Hulu. When a beautiful, strong-willed princess refuses to wed the cruel sociopath to whom she is betrothed. The first time I ever heard that word betrothed was on freaking Disney Plus, or Disney Channel, by the way. Anyways, to whom she is betrothed, she is kidnapped and locked in a remote tower of her father's castle. With her scorned, vindictive suitor intent on taking her father's throne, the princess must protect her family and save the kingdom. The princess in this film is the very talented Joey King. So there you go. That's 3 things to look for this week as they are hitting the streams or theaters. All right, so it's time to get into the review portion. So gonna pause. I've got 3, maybe a little bit more things to talk about review-wise here. So gonna go ahead and hit up the first audio, then I'll be back to talk about the first thing to talk about here.
hidden. Or we will not survive.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father? You still want Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him. You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
All right, so the first thing I'm going to end up talking about here on this mega review episode is, of course, the limited series Obi-Wan Kenobi show that hit Disney Plus, I want to say May 27th, so a month ago. Finally got around to watching the show, and my whole plan going into when that show was announced, I was like, oh my god, I'm into this. I'm excited about this, man. More so than, and this is not a knock on the other, Star Wars Disney Plus shows, but, since I've started watching The Mandalorian and I've enjoyed what I've seen, but those shows didn't grab me immediately. As soon as Obi-Wan Kenobi was announced, though, hooked, man. Absolutely hooked right away when I heard this was announced, because I wanted, I know who it is. Ewan McGregor's amazing. I've heard about Obi-Wan and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then I saw the concept art with him having a lightsaber battle with Darth Vader. I'm like, oh, come on, give me the show. And then the show finally came, and before I started watching it, I told myself I want to watch the prequels. I want to watch the prequels first before I dive into this show, because I've never actually watched them. I've seen the first movie. I saw Phantom Menace, but I never saw the other two films, especially not in full. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever seen Phantom Menace completely in full. So, sat down. Again, I had all last week off, and then sat down, watched all three of those movies, and honestly enjoyed every single one of them. I don't know what all the hate's about, but again, Star Wars fandom seems to hate anything related to Star Wars. So, I can't remember who said it, but it's 100% true. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, apparently. So, I watched the three prequels, absolutely enjoyed all three films, and enjoyed the story arc they did there with Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. So when the show was announced and I was going into it and I saw those trailers, I'm like, oh man. And I had all these high hopes. I'm like, oh, this is going to be, I know it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, but this story is going to be about him and Anakin, who is now Darth Vader fully. And honestly, that's what I got. Now they give you another kind of story in there that I'm not going to spoil, but they give you some more stuff in there. And I absolutely, thoroughly, 100% loved and enjoyed this show right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. I'm so glad it lived up to all the expectations I had, because, man, let me tell you, let me just say it. Like I said, I watched all three prequels, and I watched them, all three films of the prequels. It's the prequels, the three films, the beginning of the Star Wars Skywalker saga. I watched all three of them, and then the next day I started Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think the same, like later that night, started Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the plan was going to watch the first episode, go to sleep, and then I'll come back and watch the rest of them when I wake up the next day, man. Binge through them then. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't happen because I couldn't go to sleep. Like, I couldn't stop watching. Like, honestly, I started that first episode and I just kept powering through. Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4. And then finally, it was like 3 a.m. I'm like, dude, I got to go to sleep, And it's not because of the show, because the show still kept me wide awake. I had to force myself to stop watching and go to sleep because the show just had me hooked in. I loved every single thing they were doing. They're nailing everything I wanted them to nail. It's just, so brilliant, man. Just seeing that story play out, because that's what you would want to see. That's what you would hope to see when they announced this show. And again, I'm not going to talk about the other stuff, because they did other stuff in the film that I'm like, yes, didn't think about that going in the show, but yes, I'm glad you did that. And I'm glad you added this to the show. But the Obi-Wan Anakin Skywalker storyline, now just full on Anakin's Darth Vader mode. And it's just, that's the story now. Because the last thing you see in the prequels, the last film of the prequels, and then going into this show, that's where you want them to go. You want them to continue on with that storyline, and they do it, and I freaking love it. Love that show so freaking much, man. I honestly probably need to watch it again. There's rumors swirling around about a possibility of doing, I know Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor said they would be on board to do more. There's rumors of a Darth Vader show. We'll see if any of those happen, man, but I am all for it if they decide to continue on, because this series was brilliant in my opinion, man. Absolutely brilliant. If you're a Star Wars fan, I'm hoping you feel the same way I do. And I'm not even a huge die-hard Star Wars fan. I enjoy Star Wars. I can watch it. I can have a good time, but I don't deep dive into the stuff or all that, man. But I personally, as I guess you would call a casual viewer, loved every single minute of the show. I highly, highly suggest checking it out. I mean, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, man, I just, the storytelling here to me was so freaking brilliant. And I'm so glad I decided to watch the prequels and then go right into Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it just worked so smoothly in my opinion, man. So that's what I would suggest. I would suggest watch the prequels. If you hate Jar Jar, I'm sorry. Again, Jar Jar didn't bother me all that much. Is the character annoying? Yes. Do I absolutely hate him with the fires of hell? No, I do not. But yeah, I would say that is my suggestion. Watch the 3 prequels and then jump right into Obi-Wan Kenobi, man, because it's just, it's perfect. Perfect in my opinion. So good. So there you go, man. That's my quick review of Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It's only 6 episodes. It is on Disney Plus. Highly suggest checking that out. So that is the first review. Next, we move into another review that ended up being the first new movie I watched this week, surprisingly enough. So cue up the trailer for that, and I'll be back to give my review on the first film here.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
The Earth sucks. Wait a minute. I think the floor's not working. Look at that number up there on the billboard.
There's a 2, and then some kind of circle.
No, dumbass, not that number. That one. 69. This show sucks. It's like just these fat people standing there.
I am Cornholio! I need TV for my bungle!
Who are you, fart knockers?
Amusing, yes.
Yes, humorous, yes.
Satirical comment on the time.
Yes, amusing.
Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, a new movie streaming June 23rd, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Beavis, this changes everything.
All right, man. That was a trailer for the return of Beavis and Butthead in the new film, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. So, was not planning on this being the first new movie I saw last week, but it ended up happening. Again, hanging out with my brother, and we're like, hey, man, you want to watch Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. And we dove in and we checked it out. And I remember when Paramount Plus was announced, and a lot of people were into it because of the Star Trek stuff, which is fine. I get it, but I remember the first thing I remember them announced was iCarly, probably, to be fair. But I remember them saying Beavis and Butthead will be back, and I'm like, dude, awesome. I'm like, really? And then I'm like, awesome, cool. Because I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead. Probably shouldn't have been watching that when I was a youngin, if you will, a youngling, if you will. But I grew up watching that show and laughing at it and having a good time back then. I even played the video game. Yeah, that's right. Beavis and Butthead had a video game. Look it up. I believe it was on Sega, right? Let me It's a long time ago, man. Long time ago, kids, you know. I want to say it was a Sega game, though. Quick Google search. Sega. Would help if you spell Sega right. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, Super NES, Genesis, and Game Gear. Yep. So I did play the Beavis and Butthead game, and I think I remember it pretty well. But at the same time, I really don't. But oh, looking at the images, yeah, I remember this. Yep, definitely remember this game. Okay. Anyways, we're not here to talk about the game. Maybe we'll do that some other time. But Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. It is a comedy adventure film. It is 1 hour 26 minutes, and it is on Paramount Plus exclusively. It is a tale that technically spans 2 centuries. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe promises to sit atop all future lists of the dumbest science fiction movies ever made. The saga begins with when Beavis and Butthead wind up at space camp through creative sentencing from a juvenile court judge back in 1998. Mistaking a docking simulator for something else, of course, Beavis and Butthead excel at it and are asked to join the space shuttle mission in a PR move. And then things happen with the mission, and then they end up in a black hole, which sends them back to Earth in 2022, only to discover a very different world and find themselves considered buttholes of interest by the NSA, the governor of Texas, and highly intelligent versions of themselves from a parallel universe. Also, yeah. So Rotten Tomatoes critic score, actually, which I'm 100% surprised when I saw this, has the film at a critic score of 95%. The critics love this movie. The critics love Beavis and Butthead, man. What's up with that? Now that makes me want to go check it out and see what they gave the other one. Beavis and Butthead Do America, the original Beavis and Butthead movie. What did they give that one? Excuse me while I try to search this. Hang on. Beavis and Butthead Do America, back in 1996. What did they give this movie? 71%. Okay. And it's, I guess it's considered, it's got the tomato. I don't know what that means. Whatever. And then the audience score is 89%. So the audience score is less than the critic score. Holy hell. IMDb has it at a 7.2 out of 10. All right, my feelings, and I'll throw my brother in here as well. We were cracking up the whole time while watching this movie. My brother Tombstone Josh, check out his show, Metagroove. It's awesome. He's part of the Throw Me Podcast Network. Yeah, and he posted some awesome stuff. Posted a video doing a hot Cheeto. Had me try one of the hot Cheetos. Anyways, this movie was such a delight. If you grew up watching the Beavis and Butthead films, you felt like normal. It felt like normal times again. It kind of even looked like the original. I cleaned up a little bit maybe here and there, but it was a blast. It's the best way to describe it. It was an absolute blast, cracking up, laughing just like I did when I watched the show, just like I did when I watched Beavis and Butthead Do America. I thought the film lived up to the expectations you would have from anything doing Beavis and Butthead. They didn't differ from where they came from. They continued what you would expect them to continue, and I thought it was very well done for that universe. Again, the humor is very immature humor, but, again, if you grow up as a kid watching this show, you're going to still have that immature humor when you get older. I am evidence of that, and I still enjoyed the hell out of this movie. So if you have Paramount Plus, I suggest checking the film out. 95%, wow. That still throws me through a loop. I would not expect Rotten Tomatoes critics to give it that high of a score, but wow. Good on them, man. Congratulations to them. Sometimes I don't agree with them, man, but here we are, them giving a high score to Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, and I just have to say, good job, man. Good job. So yeah, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, solid film. If you grew up watching the show, if you're a fan of the show, you're going to absolutely love the movie. If you've never heard of Beavis and Butthead, again, it's very immature humor, sexual references, farts, stuff like that. But it's still funny. Everybody laughs at a good fart joke every now and then. So I say definitely give it a check out. It's worth their time. It's only an hour and 20 minutes. Come on. What are you gonna do? Paramount Plus. Watch it. After, you can watch Star Trek and iCarly. What else does Paramount Plus have? I don't know. They probably have Ridiculous on rerun just like MTV does. Anyways, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe comes with a high suggestion mark from me, man. So, all right, there you go. And you're like, Rob, man, you've already talked about the Star Wars prequels. We kind of reviewed those. You reviewed the Obi-Wan series. You reviewed Beavis and Butthead to the Universe. That's got to be the end of the show, man. You're going to go into the closing. No, I'm not, because I have one more film to talk about, which actually comes with some news to talk about, man. So let me cue up that trailer, then I'll be back to talk about this next film on this super mega review episode.
I'll be home in the morning.
Where are you going?
I'm staying over at Susie's tonight.
What's new? The flyer.
The papers call him the grabber.
I wish you wouldn't call him that.
You don't actually believe that story, do you? Because he can't hear you, and he doesn't really take kids that safe.
Oh! You goof. Well, isn't that just peachy keen? You need some help? You see that? Would you hand me my hat? Yes, sir. I am a part-time magician. Are those black balloons in there? Would you like to see a magic trick?
I have an announcement to make. One of our students, Finney Blake, was abducted.
What if I could help the police find Finney?
Doesn't work. Not since I was a kid. I'll scream. I'll scratch your face. This face?
Daddy, I had a dream about it.
What happened in your dream?
He was taken.
By a man with black balloons?
Yes.
We never released those details.
Hello? Don't hang up. Who are you?
You know all our names?
You're getting out of here.
Please, please let the dreams be real.
See the wall in front of you? I tore a long cable loose from down there.
There's a combination lock on the inside of the storm door.
What's the combination?
I carved it in the wall.
Hang up the phone! Now!
The tree, the door, the gate. I'd never seen it before except in my dreams.
You don't have much time.
You're gonna use a weapon. You raise the phone, step back, and swing!
Look what you made me do.
Please hurry!
You remember what I told you?
There's someday I should stand up for myself.
Someday is today, Finn.
All right, man. First thing I'm going to say is avoid watching that trailer going into this movie. This is the first time I've seen that trailer. I highly suggest do not watch that trailer going into the movie. Anyways, the movie I am talking about here is The Black Phone. It is rated R for some drug use, language, bloody images, and violence. It is a horror film, comes in at 1 hour and 42 minutes, and is in theaters. Finney, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy, is abducted by a sadistic killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of little use. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, things go crazy in this room. All right. Changing out the synopsis there too, because I'm trying to avoid things, man. I don't want to give y'all too much information. Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes critic score is 84%. Rotten Tomatoes likes Beavis and Butthead do the universe more in this movie. While the audience score is 90%, and IMDb has it at 7.4 out of 10. Which is close to their score for Beavis and Butthead do the universe. Wow. Let's see. So The Black Phone. I was already interested in seeing this movie. I probably saw a trailer a long time ago before a movie. Not that trailer. I just watched again. Don't watch that trailer. I don't know which one that was, but don't watch that one. It came out 8 months ago. If that was the trailer I saw, I completely forgot a lot of stuff because I went in that movie. I honestly avoided trailers, which I'm still doing with Nope, which I had to do recently at the theaters because Black Phone is Universal Film and Nope is Universal Film. And You know, that trailer came on. I'm like, all right, I gotta avoid it, and not paying attention because I want to go in. Like, I already saw the teaser trailer for the film. I'm good to go. You know, I'm good to go. I don't need to see more information. I'm in. And again, I just watched that trailer just now, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't watch that before going to see this movie. So, Black Phone is it says horror. I guess we can give it horror. I would say it's more of like a suspense thriller film because the movie, honestly kept me on kept me in my nerves. You know, it kept me on the edge of my seat, if you will. It's a tense film. It is a very tense film. You're sitting there, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? No lie, the film got me to squirm a couple times, jump. I didn't fully jump, but it made me do that kind of thing, like ooh, a couple times. I think 2 times, so a couple would be right. But I like the way he did it. I think Ethan Hawke did a fantastic job in the film, playing the sadistic killer. I can't remember his character's name at the moment. I think Grabber. Jeez, should remember that. So easy. But yeah, I think he was really good in the film. I don't recognize a lot of the other people in the movie. There is an actor in the film who did the previous Sinister films, was also in It Chapter 2. I bring up the Sinister films because this movie is directed by Scott Dickerson, who did the other Sinister films. He directed the first Sinister film. I think he only wrote the second one. But he's done other things. He did Urban Legend, Final Cut, Hellraiser, Exorcism of Emily Rose, Doctor Strange of all things, and now The Black Phone. I think the film is really good. I'm not going to come out here and, say it's extremely amazing. Like I've seen a lot of people throwing it out there. It is a very enjoyable movie. It is a fantastic movie. Do I put it above X for me this year? No, probably not. But not even probably not. No, I don't. But I did. That doesn't mean the movie's bad. The movie's very good. The movie's very good, very enjoyable. I like the suspense of it all, and it keeps you guessing. Like, okay, how's this going? There was times when I was watching the movie, I'm like, okay, I got a feeling I know what's about to happen, and then they did something that was completely different. I'm like, fuck yeah, man! I'm so glad y'all went a different route, and I didn't see that coming. Because I don't want to see those things happening. That's not, I don't want to, be able to guess everything that happens. Sometimes it happens, man. When I'm watching a movie, sometimes it happens. It doesn't completely ruin the movie for me, but sometimes that, does happen, man. And you just gotta deal with it, I guess. But nonetheless, The Black Phone is a very solid film. I do highly suggest checking it out, especially if you enjoy horror. Again, I don't really consider it a horror movie. I consider it more suspense thriller. So if you're into suspense movies, if you're into thriller movies, I would say The Black Phone is definitely for you. I didn't, God, man, there you go, man. 3 things, 4, actually 6 things, if you count the 3 prequels, and then the Obi-Wan show, and Beavis and Butthead, and this, man, a lot of good things happened. So I was already into the idea of watching The Black Phone. My brother wanted to see it, so I was like, cool, man, we can go see that this weekend. And my interest in The Black Phone got sparked even more. And I'm going to let you know why after I play this little clip here.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. No doubt about it.
Oh. What's up? It's Brock.
Brock!
Yeah, we can come get you. Brock? Brock, are you there?
Let's go.
The Horrors of Blumhouse, featuring Freaky and the Black Phone, only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
That's right, baby. We got a new Halloween Horror Nights house announced for Halloween Horror Nights 31, 2022, whatever you want to call it. The Horrors of Blumhouse is the 3rd house announced. It's a double house hitting Halloween Horror Nights this year. Step inside a new double feature of Blumhouse horror. Your Scream Squad. Honor Squad. Thrill Me Squad. Will find yourselves trapped between a frantic teen and the ruthless serial killer she swapped bodies with in Freaky. Then you'll try to make a desperate escape from the dark basement of the Grabber before you become his latest victim in the terrifying The Black Phone. Yeah, man, I'm always excited about a Halloween Horror Nights announcement, especially when, you're not reading speculation maps and all that stuff. You're just waiting for, the actual people to announce and do what they're supposed to do instead of being, leakers and all those things. So I'm excited about this, and I was so excited when they announced this, I had to watch Freaky. So I watched Freaky again. It's on HBO Max. I think Blue's where I watched it. Absolutely still 100% enjoyed that film. Can't wait to experience that movie. And walk through that house there, hoping to see some awesome things like the freaking shop class scene. Just freaking they have like a haunted house in the movie kind of thing as well. So maybe they'll throw that in there. In the preview ad, they showed a character like Catherine Newton's character with the bloody claw hook and everything. So into it, man. Super excited and all that. And then when they announced the Black Phone, I'm like, cool, I gotta see the Black Phone. That upped my excitement a little bit more to see the Black Phone. I was already into it, and then when I found out it was gonna be Halloween Horror Nights house, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go see it. Now, granted, I've only seen this movie once. I will hopefully maybe see it again. I would assume it'd be out by the time, 45 days. Quick math. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Yada yada. So maybe it will be. What are we? We're still. I think we're like 90 plus days till Halloween Horror Nights, right? So, July, August, that's 60, something like that. I don't know. Quick math, and I'm tired. I'm not trying to do that right now. But, maybe I'll see the movie again. But as of right now, just seeing that one movie, just reading it there, escape his basement. So I guess we're going to be in the basement. Probably going to see a lot of that character, the Grabber, with his mask and all that stuff. A phone ringing. After watching the movie, I don't know what they'd actually put into the house. I believe my Thrill Me pals over there at Haunters Podcast going to be going into what they're hoping to see, or maybe speculating on what we could see in the house on their next episode next week. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to expect with the Black Phone as a house. Again, I would expect the Grabber. Obviously, they mentioned him a couple times. I would expect a ringing phone. Other than that, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Balloons, probably. How cool would that be to be walking through a hallway, and then you're just walking along through the house, and all of a sudden you get to a hallway where you have to walk through a bunch of freaking balloons, like just black balloons. You just have to walk through them, and then all of a sudden the freaking Grabber jumps out of nowhere. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I'm into it. All right, let's do that for sure. But yeah, watch Freaky again. Highly suggest checking that out. Solid movie. In the Black Phone, solid movie as well, man. So I'm into it. This will be the first time I get to experience a Blumhouse house. Too many houses, baby. At Halloween Horror Nights. So that'll be fun. They did it. I want to say they did it the year I went, but I did not. My first year, HHN 28, I believe, had a Blumhouse house, because I did all the houses at 29. So yeah, it would be HHN 28. Blumhouse, what did they do? They did Happy Death Day, right? Happy Death Day and the First Purge. So yeah, I didn't get to experience that, which is fine. I'm not a Happy Death Day fan. Maybe I need to rewatch that movie, but I'm not a fan of the movie. And then the First Purge, I think, not like the First Purge movie. It's so freaking. A lot of people run into this issue with that movie. Not the very first Purge movie, the Purge movie that is called The First Purge. That probably, I guess I don't know how you make a Purge house. Purge always seems like a scare zone to me, more than a house. Could you do things? Sure, but I always feel like it's more of a house. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's from 2018. The Horrors of Blumhouse coming this year. Freaky, Black Phone. We'll see how this ends up working out. It should be a good time. And I immediately posted on my Twitter, I need standalone Freaky merch. They already have merch for the Horrors of Blumhouse. It's like a double-edged sword, if you will. One side is what the hell's the name of that killer? I just watched Freaky, man. What the hell's the name of that? The something slasher, right? Freaky. The hell's his name? Blissfield Butcher, the Butcher. And then Millie is the girl. I think we're getting Millie. What did it say again? Trapped between a frantic teen and the ruthless serial killer she swapped bodies with in Freaky. So we'll probably get both, I would guess. Is from what it sounds like. And then at some point they'll just switch and it's just Millie. Cool. Whatever, dude. I'm into it. I'm excited. Bring it on. And let's see, is that it? Is that all? Woo! What an episode, man. Mega episode. Mega episode. I gave you news, gave you stuff that's released this week, and reviewed several freaking things. Hope you had a good time, man. I had a good time with this as well. Again, happy birthday to me. Pat on my back. Good job. Made another year. Surprising. Shocking. No, man, I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. Love doing the show. Love building with the Throw Me Podcast Network and continuing to grow. Please share this show as well as all the Throw Me Podcast Network shows and just the Throw Me Podcast Network with your friends and family, man. Help us grow. Subscribe to our YouTube. Share our YouTube with people. Share our shows. All that good stuff, man. And we have a Patreon if you want to enjoy that and support us with that and everything. That would be awesome, man. But anyways, love the fact that you're listening to the show. Appreciate it so much. And remember, as always, that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.
Thank you for joining me this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get updates on all new episodes. As well, follow me on Twitter at review_it_Rob. Stay tuned for more adventures.